This isn't D&D.
What is this? Who
So,
are you? Where am I?
so,
Hi.
due to some people not being able to make it to Curse of Strahd, we are doing this instead. Biddy and I,
Yes.
Biddy and I are doing another Zelda tier list. This one is companions.
This one's companions. As you can see, it's a lot smaller than the boss list.
Indeed. Oh, I need to turn that down a bit. That's a little bit loud. All right.
Yeah, I
So-
can hear it just a little bit through your mic.
Yeah, I realized I was.
Wait, no. It's coming through from the stream.
Oh yeah. So we're doing a tier list.
Yes.
Indeed. So yeah. How well do you know Zelda games and their companions?
The only games I haven't played on this list are the DS games.
All right. So I'm gonna set some ground rules. Last time we did a tier list, I had the rule that only that one boss per game could be S tier, so that to make it a little harder to choose. This time I'm gonna have it be only one S tier, all out of all of them, and one F tier out of all of them. So let's go in chronological order. First up is Navi. Now, Navi is the first companion in Zelda history, unless you count Marin, but she's only partially a companion. Navi, her origin starts out as Z targeting. They came up with Z targeting in order to be able to fight
in
combat. Yeah, fight in the Z dimension. And so they decided to make
or
that.
Zed if you're spicy.
I was tempted to say Zed, but no, we're Texas. We don't say that. So, yeah, they made the Z targeting, attached it to a fairy named Navi, which is short for navigator. Now, Navi doesn't have much of a personality beyond the initial cutscene, where she has, she makes a quip about how lazy Link is, and then that's it. The rest of her personality is relegated to telling you where to go, and then she dies.
What things are.
Yes. She is where the hey, look, listen is from. And because she had a lot of potential, which was wasted. Even a few cutscenes where she could have, a moment with Link to be honest about her doubts in the adventure, but she didn't. So I'm putting her at D.
Or maybe, have Navi come out during, the Great Deku Tree cutscene. Be like, oh, no, you can't die. And then he dies.
Just something. But she is...
I would have said she would either have been D or C, so I agree with D.
Yeah, okay. Now, on the other end, there is Tattle. She is fantastic. She is everything Navi isn't. She is sassy. She regularly, has moments where she's, honest, and, she starts out as, being friends with Skull Kid, and then she only uses Link as, a means to get back to her brother until, the power of the mask, it starts, horribly afflicting Skull Kid, and then she, is on a more, okay, no, we actually have to stop this kind of thing, okay? And throughout the course of the game,
she goes from bring me to my brother and my friend to we gotta save the world.
Mm-hmm. And she still has some doubts in the cutscene after you summon the 4 giants. and the moon is still crashing down. She's like, Link, we got to, we messed up. We got to go back in time, we have to go back to the first day, buy ourselves some time to figure out what to do. And then her brother is like, I'm going to go fight Skull Kid. And she's like, okay, if you're going to, you've been through enough. I'll go fight Skull Kid if we're doing this. You know, she has good character development, and more importantly, she has character. She is the opposite of Navi in almost every way, and that is why she
solid
is...
B.
I'm gonna put her at A tier.
All right.
Now, next up, Eslo. You're familiar with Eslo, correct?
Echo.
Eslo is a very interesting character.
He's a hat.
He is a hat, and more than that, he also acts as a parachute, and he acts as the means by which you travel to the world of the Minish, aka shrinking down.
Yes.
So he has a lot more functionality than the other two, and he's also got
shrinking down real small, like.
Exactly, and he's got some interesting character. He is the reason why Vaati exists. He is the one that created the hat that Vaati got power from, and his quest is basically a redemption for that. However, I do think that he could have had a bit more to him. I don't think he's as good as Tattle in terms of his interactions with Link. Because it seems like, for the most part,
he definitely has more interaction than Navi, though.
Absolutely. So he's going to be a B tier.
Yeah, Eslo is... He and Link pretty much have the same MO from the get-go.
Yeah. And...
both of them want to stop Vaati and save the princess.
Yeah, he doesn't go through a character arc in that's as compelling as Tattle's. His character arc is, I need to stop Vaati, and I have now helped Vaati in being stopped. Like that's his character arc pretty much, and basically learning about that there is still hope in things. His character arc
also, he's an old man.
Yes. His character arc is done a lot better in the King of Red Lions. You are currently playing Wind Waker, which y'all can check out on the channel after this. The King of Red Lions, solid
every Friday at noon Central Standard Time.
Exactly. I put him at A tier because he has such a more interesting story. It's very similar to Eslo's, but it's a lot more personal. So the King of Red Lions is Daphnis Nohansen Hyrule, the king of Hyrule, at the time that Ganondorf had escaped his seal. And because of his inaction, Hyrule got flooded, and now he is seeking effectively redemption through defeating Ganondorf, basically getting rid of his biggest mistake.
Yes.
Yeah. He is he is the I have to atone for my mistakes, which caused the world to be this bad kind of story arc, far better than Eslo. After him...
Not only that, but also, he's a boat.
He is a boat. And despite what it looks like, he is not a ghost. He is not a ghost because ghosts... Well, I'll tell you why he's not a ghost later. He does things that ghosts cannot do, according to the rules given.
Ghosts have little wispies.
Yeah. So, next up, let's go to Phantom Hourglass with Ciela, who looks and sounds like Navi, but is a little bit more compelling in that she has character. She starts out as an amnesiac, and her through line is figuring out who she is. And halfway through the game, you learn who she is. She is the spirit of courage. Uh, she has time powers, and she serves the Ocean King. Her story arc is more about, like, yes, gaining her memories, and also shifting from being a naive, like, upstart to, like, a headstrong character, you know?
Like,
Uh,
yeah!
yeah. And also, in...
Oh, geez, I don't know if I can do this too. Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. Or more like, oh man,
She
adventure
finds their
seems...
courage.
Yeah. Like, oh, adventure seems so fun. I wish I could do it. To, hell yeah, I adventured. Next up is
Nice.
Linebeck of the same game. He has a much better character arc. He starts off, for most of the game, he is a selfish asshole. He is only using Link, giving Link a ride on his boat so that Link can go into dungeons that he is too afraid to go to, and get treasure to bring back. That is his character. But by the end of it, he has found the courage to stand up, and he has gone through a full character arc. He's the one who picks up the Phantom Sword to fight Bellum when Link is knocked out. And when he's given a chance to wish for anything by the Ocean King, which halfway through the game, the Ocean King promises him a wish upon the defeat of Bellum. He could wish for riches. He could wish to be a king. But what he wishes for, because he's gone through an entire character arc, is his boat back, which got destroyed. Because all the money in the world won't be able to buy an adventure like the one he had. So he is going through a similar character arc as Ciela, but on a much more extreme scale, in the best kind of way. That's why I put him at A. Next up is Zelda. This is Spirit Tracks is the only game in which Zelda has, like, is accompanying Link. So I'm gonna put her. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna put her fairly high up because, you know, she's Zelda. She's in the title.
Yeah.
But her character
She
arc...
gets to be a knight and punch.
Yeah, her character arc is because she does go through one. She starts out as naive and afraid because of the upbringing she had. She's basically the opposite of Tetra, and because she's a pampered, spoiled princess, anytime there's trouble, she calls on, like, the guards or Link or anyone until she dies.
Yeah, until she gets fucking murked.
Yeah, she dies. And once she does, she is unable to call on people because the only one who can see her are the Locomos, which are the sages of that game, and Link. And so she's unable to call upon them. But she does find that she can possess the Phantom armors, which she uses to help Link. And through that, she also learns courage in the same way that Ciela and Linebeck did. And that's honestly a lot of their character arcs. Is a decent chunk of the companions' character arcs are about going from, like, fairly naive to finding their courage. I think I'm probably going to put her at B tier because, as good as she is, there's still so much that she could have been. I was left wanting more of her character. Now, next up is one that everyone loves, Midna. So what do you know about Midna?
Former princess of the Twilight, cursed by Zant to be a little imp.
Yep. So her
Her character arc is she's literally just with Link just so that she can, you know, reforge the the
the
fused shadow and
and
you
kill
know
Zant.
kill Zant, go back home, be princess,
Yeah.
and
Until
then
yeah.
and then she reforges the shadow, kills Zant, and shit isn't all right yet.
Well, that's not where the turning point of her character arc is. The
I
turning
know, but it's a thing that happens.
Yeah, it is. So her character arc starts off similar to Tattle's, and she is very selfish. She is only using Link as a means to an end. However, halfway through the game, she almost dies. And because Zant
Oh yeah, that's
exposes
right.
her not just to the light, but the raw, divine light of the light spirit. And it is. And the thing is, the fused shadow does its best to keep its wearer alive. So the fused she would have died if she wasn't wearing the fused shadow on her head. That's why Zant left it on and didn't take it when he took the others, so that she could suffer through the night because of the damage she took, leaving her at death's door, and the fused shadow doing its best to keep her alive. That means she
Meaning she would be in agony for hours to days.
Yeah, hours until the sun rises and finally finishes her off. And in her and she is willing to die as long as she can tell Zelda how to heal Link. Ask Zelda to tell them how to heal Link. She's ready to die and let Zelda and Link get revenge for her. But Zelda does something that neither of them expected, and Zelda fucking dies so that Midna can live. And that is where Midna stops her selfish outlook on things. That is where it stops being, okay, I need to defeat Zant in order to restore my body, to I need to kill Zant so that her sacrifice, Zelda's sacrifice, wasn't in vain. And through that, through her character arc, she does like come to appreciate the world of Hyrule and how similar the World of Light and the Twilight Realm are. So obviously she's gonna be A tier. And then we have Fee. You know about Fee, right?
Okay, we have to decide.
Are
we going off of
original?
Oh, F.
Yeah. Well,
F.
We'll decide the F tier later, but definitely D tier for now. We're gonna assign one of the A tiers to S and one of the D tiers to F. But for now, let's discuss why Fee is bottom of the barrel. It is because she's very annoying, more so than Navi. The only time Navi stops the momentum of the story is to tell you what a door is in the Deku Tree, and then that's it. The rest is just her being like, hey, look, listen, at times, but she doesn't stop the momentum.
No, you just get a little chime and a little hey.
Yeah, and you can listen to what she has to say, or you
completely
can
ignore it.
Exactly. Fee, on the other hand, stops the momentum in its tracks numerous times to tell you either stuff you already know, stuff you just heard, or stuff that is painfully obvious. Every time in the original Skyward Sword. In the Switch, it's a lot better because they cut down on like over half of her redundant over half her dialogue, which was redundant. But to put it in perspective, in the first, like in the tutorial, like towards the end of the tutorial, from the time you meet her to the time you first set foot on the surface, she interrupts you 3 times to tell you to buy a potion and a shield. The first time is whenever you first open the portal, and she's like, "Hey, before you go down there, buy a potion and a shield." The second time is after you're about to set off the island, be like, "Hey, don't forget the potion and shield." And the third time, and this is the most egregious time in this particular instance of this annoying shit, right when you get to the portal to the surface, before you descend, she stops you and is like, "Hey, did you remember to buy the potion and shield?" And it's like, "Shut up! I am trying to. I want to go." Now, this is the kind of
If I
dialogue.
remember, doesn't she do it? Doesn't she do it? Even if you do have potions and
Yes,
shields.
yes, she does.
That's the worst part.
It is. And the other things she does is like a character will be like, "Oh yeah, I saw a human girl go into the the temple over there," and she'll be like, she'll come out and be like, "Master, there's an 80% chance that Zelda went into the temple." It's like, yeah, I fucking know, Fee. I know. It's the only place there is to go. And is that throughout the entire game. And one of the dumbest parts is that anytime you come up to a boss door, she's like, "Master, I sense a dark presence behind this door. You should make sure you're equipped before entering." And she does it every single dungeon. Like, I could understand if it was the first dungeon, but every single time. It's like after the first dungeon, we know what a boss door looks like. It has a key that you have to do a rotation puzzle to use, which I think was actually kind of neat. But we know what a fucking door is. So please, just
Yeah.
shut up. Now, her character arc, because she does have one, is going from a robotic program just following its coding to having like character. But the thing is that character arc is not executed well in the slightest, because like she maintains the whole robotic like percentages and shit throughout the entire game, so there's no point in which she's like open about what her feelings are until the very end, in which she's like, "Okay, you'll once you put me in this pedestal, I'll be asleep forever, and and it was nice to experience life and do all this shit, and I don't want to go, but I will fulfill my purpose." And it's like, where the fuck did this come from? Because there was no telegraphing that. So it's less of a character arc and more of a character. Not even sure what it would be. Step. Either way, the place where she ends does not feel justified, and that is why she is going in the F tier.
Yes.
Now for the S tier, that is going to be a lot more difficult because there are some very, very good characters. We have the old king that is trying to get redemption for his mistake hundreds of years ago. We got the fairy who is learning that, you know, you shouldn't be a dick, and also being selfish isn't always the best option. You know, you gotta put others before yourself sometimes. We got the Twilight Princess, who learns pretty much the same thing. Like, learns how to put others before herself. And then we got the sailor, who learns to appreciate adventure and stops being a coward. So which one should we put in S tier? I'll let you decide.
Well, with putting the decision to me, it basically narrows it down to I've never played the DS one, so I can't vouch for Lineback.
Okay.
Hmm. It's a toughie. It's a toughie.
It really is.
Hmm.
I think I'd probably put the King of Red Lions because his character arc is because Tattle and Midna have the same kind of character arc.
Yeah, selfish become not selfish.
Yeah. And I think that in terms of like character arcs, atoning for your sins is a more interesting, like having made mistakes and doing everything in an effort to fix those mistakes is a more compelling character arc than learning to not be a dick.
Mm. I get you. I get you.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I,
All
I
right.
think I think that's good.
All right. So,
King of Red Lions.
yes. Uh, if I didn't impose these rules on me, on myself, then all four of them would be S tier. um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I didn't want to just give it to Midna for the simps.
Yeah. Um, so, to recap, at S tier we have the King of Red Lions. At A tier we got Tattle, Midna, and Lineback. At B tier we got Zelda and Ezlo. At C tier we got Ciela, and at D tier we got Navi. And way at the bottom, where she belongs, is Fee.
F for fee.
Yes. So, thank you everybody for watching. Check out some of the other stuff on the channel, such as
S
the
for
Wind Waker.
serfdom.
Yeah. For the Wind Waker, which Biddy is playing. There is
Yes.
also
I
Banjo.
just beat the Earth Temple.
Yes, you did. There's also Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which I'm playing, and then Scraps, who is not with us right now, is
God rest his
playing.
soul.
He's not dead. He's just not in this episode. Is playing Pokemon Platinum and Cult of the Lamb. And finally, we have the aforementioned Curse of Strahd, which we mentioned at the beginning, which did not have an episode this week because people couldn't make it. But you can still watch some of the older episodes. There's also another D&D campaign, a homebrew that I run called World of Tapir. Definitely check
I
it
know that.
out. Yeah.
I'm in both of them.
Yes, I am too. So comment challenge of the day: who would you put? Which Zelda companion would you put at S tier, and which would you put at F tier?
I get a feeling a lot of people will agree with the fee for F.
Oh yeah, I think that it'll either be Fee or Navi is what people put at F. With that out of the way, there's no less to say but good night, everybody.
Goodbye.